Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your mat and welcome to your yoga practice tonight. Tonight I'm going to be leading you through a few poses to help you open your hips. And this is a really great thing to do maybe first thing in the morning if you're feeling stiff, if you have an opportunity during your work day, if you have a lunch break and you can go somewhere quiet to do this. Or maybe it's right before bed and you find that it's hard for you to relax because you still feel like you're holding a lot of tension in your body. So let's get started. And we will first, if you have a blanket or a block that you know you need, go ahead and grab those things in case you need them for a little more support. But let's first come to downward facing dog. Okay, so you'll set your hands down. You can start in all fours for this, curl your toes under, and then pull your belly in, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay? And just drop your head down and just kind of do whatever feels good for you right here. Right? So you can pedal your feet out and sway your hips around, just kind of feeling into the backs of the leg and just doing a general check-in of what your body feels like right here. Maybe a little nod of the head, a wiggle of the hips, maybe some bends in the knees. Okay, and then after a few breaths of that, what we're going to start to do is step the right foot forward, and I'm going to step outside of my right hand. Okay, so what I can do here is take a couple of gentle bounces up and down so that the hips can have a little more space. Okay? And then from there, if you want to lower down, you can lower your back knee. If this bothers your knee, use your blanket underneath it or roll the side of your mat up. I'm going to let my toes untuck this time. And then I'm going to come down to my forearms. If this is too much to come down here, then you can lift back up. Okay? It might be great to have your block or your blanket under your forearms. It might feel good to let your right knee fall open. I feel this a lot in my groin area, my inner thigh and hip, the front of my left thigh. So this can be pretty intense, and we want to feel a lot here, but we don't want to be in pain. So use your deep breathing to kind of create a little more ease, right? So instead of focusing on any discomfort or tension, bring all of your focus to your breath right now, and then use your breaths. You're going to use it as a tool, and what we're going to do is focus on the exhales to clear space in the areas where you feel this stretch in your body. Take a deep breath in through your nose and open up your mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, open the mouth. 1 more, breathe in, open the mouth. Stay for a few more breaths here. Now, if you're watching this video and you're able to pause it, right here might be a great point. Right? And then you can hold this for maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, we'll take a couple more breaths right here. Soften your face. Inhale and exhale. If you're on your forearms, you can start to make your way back to your hands. Okay, take your time coming out of this. And then to release, I'm going to start to walk my hands back. I'm just going to start to straighten this right leg. You can keep the right knee bent if your hamstring is pretty tight. We're just kind of letting this leg release for a moment. You can pull your right hip back, breathe in, and breathe out. And start to come forward again. This time we'll plant the hands. Use your core to step your right foot back, and we'll come to downward facing dog again. So you may feel a little bit uneven. That's normal, whatever normal is. And then we'll move into the other side. So you'll step your left foot forward outside of the hand. And little gentle bounces to the hips, straight up and down, like a buoy. And then you'll start to lower the back knee, or maybe pat it if you need to. Open that left knee out to the left. Maybe come down to the forearms. Notice if you picked up any tension in your face. Sometimes we start to crinkle the forehead or clench the T. So just do your best to find any areas of tension and soften them, right? Because this practice is designed to help us release that tension instead of create more of it. It all depends on your awareness of your body and what you feel and what you choose to do with what you feel. Okay, and then as we take a few more deep breaths, if this is a good place for you to pause and you'd like to hold this longer, it'd be great if you could hold it for a couple more minutes. Otherwise, just a couple more breaths here. Breathe in and breathe out. And start to come back to your hands. And then I'm going to walk my hands back, pull my hips back, and start to straighten that left leg. I'm pulling my left hip back. Inhale and exhale. Walk your hands forward again. Curl those back toes under, pick up the knee, and step that left foot back. Let's come back to downward facing dog. And just feel it out again. Maybe you notice you have a little more space now that you've already done a little bit of movement and stretching. Okay. So now we're going to go back to that right leg. We'll come back to down dog. And you're going to pull your right knee towards your right wrist and your right foot towards your left wrist. Eventually, your right shin might be parallel with the mat. Mine's nowhere close right now, but I'm just going to meet myself where I'm at, so I invite you to do the same. I'm going to line my left heel up with my left hip as best as I can, and then I'm just going to kind of let my hips shift around a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can take a little back bend. You can tense your fingers, draw the shoulders back, and just lift the chest up. So I'm not sinking down in my hips right here. I'm kind of lifted. You can hold it there if you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to start to walk the hands forward now. So if your chest doesn't come all the way down, grab your blanket or your block. Set it underneath your chest. The more support you have, the more permission your body's going to have to relax. And with that relaxation, your body's going to open. So go ahead and walk your hands forward. Relax your chest down all the way on the mat or on your blanket. This is another one of those poses that might feel pretty intense. And so we use some breath to find some ease here. If this is the first time you've had to just kind of be with yourself, maybe you just pause the video here and say a prayer, or think of a mantra that's helpful for you. Maybe even just set an intention for this particular pose. If you feel like you could use a little bit more, just walk your arms forward and your chest will lower down even more. If you're able to pause this video, I would pause it and hold it for a few minutes and just see what happens. Over time, your body's going to open the more that you relax. A couple more breaths here, unless you're going to pause the video and come back to this. And then we'll start to walk the hands up towards the body. Remove your block or your blanket. Place your hands down, curl those back toes under, and lift the knee. And then we'll take the hips up and step the right foot back. And you're welcome to walk your dog again or move your hips around. Whenever you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So left knee towards the left wrist, left foot towards the right wrist, the right heel in line with the right hip as best as you can. Walk that right foot back and kind of move the hips around again. So if you notice before we settle right into these poses, we create a little bit of movement. And so if you think of like a rubber band, that's kind of what we're doing. Just gently stretching it little by little. right? And then we hold that stretch. You can come into your back bend again if you'd like. Heart wide open. And then after that, you'll start to walk your hands forward and down. I'm not going to use a blanket this time just so you can see me come all the way down, but if you'd like, you can grab your pillow or your blanket or your block and set it underneath your chest. Otherwise, I'm going to come all the way down. Feel this a lot in my left outer hip. Right, and to someone that's watching, it may not look like a lot, but we know that something's happening because we can definitely feel it in the inside of our body, right? So again, if you're able to pause this video, I would pause it here and stay for a couple more minutes on this side. Take some deep breaths, maybe say a prayer, or maybe just enjoy your own company. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come back to the video. We'll start to make our way up. And then I'll curl those right toes under again. Pick up the knee, lift the hips, and step that left foot back. I'm gonna give my legs or my feet a little walk here again. And I'm gonna shift my hips again because it feels so yummy. I'm gonna lower the knees down and come to a seat. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. Sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. I invite you to think of something that you're grateful for tonight. It could be a person, it could be a pet. Maybe it's something about yourself. Maybe you're so grateful for your health tonight, or to be able to do some stretches, or to have some time to yourself. Keep focusing on what you're grateful for and just let more things start coming up. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Keep filling in the blank. So that gratitude, fill your body from the very top of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet. Gratitude will create an instant shift. Not only in the mind and the heart, but also in the body. It's all connected. Let's take a few more deep breaths with that gratitude. Just continue to let it fill you. Take a big breath in through your nose. And to open up your mouth. Whenever you're ready, release your hands and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope your hips feel a little bit happier tonight and that you have a little more space and maybe you feel a little more relaxed so you can get a good night's rest. Thank you so much. See you soon.